sometimes getting transported into another world isn't all that bad. For one, you get a harem all for yourself, and two, once you become overpowered, nobody's coming to hurt you. So, today, let's check 10 Isekai anime where the main character is overpowered and also gets his own harem. Ready? Here comes a sword and sorcery, plus the ladies. Number 10, In Another World with My Smartphone.
Awesome.
What happens when God does something as a mistake? Well, he is the God after all, so he can correct everything. So in this anime, God accidentally kills 15-year-old Toya Mochizuki and decides to send him to another world with this smartphone. The smartphone doesn't allow Toya to contact people from his world, but it has some cool features that make your iPhone look like garbage. Apart from giving him a supernatural smartphone, God also increases Toya's magical and physical strength. Now, Toya begins his journey in this fantasy world and befriends many allies, which are mostly female of course. It turns out God was kind enough to grant him his own harem as well. So the next time you meet with an accident, pray that there's some Isekai God doing it. Number 9, Hortensia Saga. Winter 2021 is never going to be boring because this season, we've got Hortensia Saga as an Isekai anime. It's based on the popular role-playing game of the same name, and will follow the adventures of a handful of characters from the popular mobile RPG game. Coming from a role-playing game, the anime will strike a balance between adventure, exploration, and action. Since this is turning into an anime, the characters will be fleshed out more, and it will explore more on the world-building aspects as well. This anime may follow the usual Isekai tropes, but since we're focusing on multiple characters this time, it would be great to see this new world in the eyes of 4 different people. Number 8, So I'm a Spider, So What? We've had slimes, and now we're moving into spiders. No, not the scary tarantulas. This is actually an anime where a girl gets reincarnated as a spider and fights evil monsters. Trust me, this goes way beyond your average 3-year-old cartoon. Just because the main character is a spider doesn't mean you can ignore this. You saw how a slime became the most powerful character in the world, so this anime will do the same for you. The story will focus on the spider's various adventures and how the main character gradually learns to adapt to the environment and the monster she faces. It will also have some intriguing mystery as well. And don't worry, the harem isn't full of spiders, so if you're a fan of either of the 2 genres, then this anime would be perfect for you. Number 7, Aesthetica of a Rogue Hero. Normally, most isekai end when the hero defeats the demon lord, but what happens when that demon lord has a cute daughter? In Aesthetica of a Rogue Hero, the hero of the world, Akatsuki Alsawa, arrives at the school Babel with the daughter of the demon lord, hoping to start a new life there. But the school itself becomes a mystery. It's said to be a school that trains interdimensional travelers, but the demon lord's daughter and his hero soon realize that this is not the case. This anime is a great power fantasy, not with just a main character who's overpowered, but also with a story that slowly builds up its plot. And harem. Number 6, the Master of Ragnarok and Blesser of Einherjar. In this universe, there are forces you cannot understand, and it's best not to test them. Yuto Suo learns this the harder way. When he decides to take a funny picture in front of a shrine, he's whisked away into another world that is based on Norse myths. He soon befriends the Wolf Clan, and in order to help them, he works together with them to bring their clan into prominence. Based on the looks of the anime, you can say that this has an overpowered main character, and similar to many others in the list, the harem comes bundled with the isekai. And this time, that harem comes in the form of magic-wielding warrior maidens known as the Einherjar. Number 5, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. Here comes accidents and reincarnation back again. When a 34-year-old man is met with an accident while trying to rescue another person, he's teleported to a fantasy world as Rudius Greyrat. Now as a child, Rudius possesses incredible magic skills plus genius-level intellect. His parents are surprised about him, and this boy begins learning the best sword and sorcery in the world as well. Little kid becomes overpowered after being reincarnated. That reminds me of Wise Man's grandchild. But speaking in terms of the hype, I can surely tell this anime would surpass that and become one of the most hyped anime of the season. Number 4, Plunderer. Plunderer is set in a post-apocalyptic world where every human being is given a count. This count relates to the status of that particular person, and when this reaches 0, he or she is dragged into the abyss. We follow young Hina as she tries to fulfill her mother's wish by finding the legendary Ace. But when she meets Lichtbach, her grueling journey comes to an end. Licht doesn't leave a good first impression, but wait until he removes that mask of his to show what he is truly capable of. Plunderer may have a similar premise to many other power fantasy shows, but it slowly builds up its story by expanding the world and characters. And guess what? This white-haired pervert seems to have a darker past he wants to hide, so he isn't all smiles and jokes every time. Number 3, Princess Connect Redive. Welcome to Australia, where random men fall down from the sky. Nope, it's not a joke, because our main character Yuki literally falls down from the sky. But this time, our main character gets a helping hand. An elf named Kokoro teaches him how to handle currency, fight monsters, and even the mechanics of the world. Soon, the two of them meet a cat girl and a girl skilled in battle, and the 4 of them decide to form a guild of their own. You can call this a rather power fantasy version of Konosuba, with the same level of comedy and more action. It's a rather underrated series, plus it does everything right when it comes to this niche, so make sure to check this one out. Number 2, the hidden dungeon only I can enter. What would Isekai be without dungeons? Here, Noir is the son of a minor noble barely having a job. So when he loses the only job he has, he consults this sage for advice. The solution? He has to travel through a dungeon full of monsters and other creatures until he has the power to challenge his fate. Now, this is an anime that puts a fresh spin on the overpowered protagonist trope. Rather than blasting off enemies instantly, Noir slowly learns how to defeat each enemy and use his new powers. He starts off as a lazy noble boy, but grows to become a great adventurer. So character development plus harem, plus an overpowered protagonist? You've got it all in this one. Number 1, Redo the Healer. For anyone who thought Goblin Slayer was the most controversial anime release, then this is the place where you go wrong. Redo the Healer is Goblin Slayer, but much, much more darker. If not obvious from the title, this is about a healer who was abused by the other members of his team and decides to take revenge. And the way he takes revenge is the rather questionable thing here. Anyways, he's overpowered, and unlike other main characters, he forcefully builds his harem. So you got everything you need. The villains may be a little one-sided here, but who cares about that when our main character slays them like a badass? And a fair warning, just because you saw the poster and trailer, don't expect an anime where cute girls do cute things. None of us are ready for what we're about to expect. So, there goes 10 anime where the main character is transported to another world and is lucky enough to become overpowered and get a bunch of girls all for himself. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be updated as soon as we release a new video. Stay safe, anime fans, and I'll see you in the next video.